Happy Independence Day, everyone, and welcome to About Town. I'm Susan Stevens.
And I'm Kathy Whiteman. We're on location at the beautiful Irving Art Center while the new lighting grid at ICTN is being installed in our studio.
We also want to say a big thank you to the Irving Art Center for being our host for the next couple shows.
This is kind of our home away from home,
Yeah.
so it's appropriate. We're so glad that you could join us here for highlights from this year's Juneteenth celebration and another edition of Page Turners.
We'll also meet artist Billy Hassel, and in Feature Flicks, we have reviews of Elvis and Mr. Malcolm's List.
Cannot wait to see that.
Yeah.
This year marks the second time that Juneteenth has been celebrated as a national holiday.
Yes, and the crowd that gathered at Bear Creek Heritage Park celebrated history and community. Here's a look.
Juneteenth is a day that means a lot to the people of the world and our community.
These are part of my ancestors.
It's a time to me that reminds me of rejuvenation and freedom and really the beginning of the American dream.
That's why it's important to commemorate the historic day which happened on June 19th in 1865.
Started in Galveston, Texas with the release of slaves 2 years after the Emancipation Proclamation, and it was a joyous time of celebration. And it was also the beginning of many new lives and many new entrepreneurships.
The city of Irving continues to honor the now national holiday with their annual Juneteenth celebration held at Bear Creek Heritage Park.
We have vendors out here. The Irving PD came out to support us, NAACP, and we got a kid zone for the kids, airbrush tattoos.
Great food trucks and unbelievable music, as well as a car show. So there's a little bit of everything going on.
It's a joyous celebration that also creates unity and inclusivity.
This is what being inclusive means. It means coming together, celebrating, and respecting.
Anytime that we can get the community together, build relationships, to learn about one another, to learn about one another's history, and some of the things that we grew up with, we just grow.
And not even the heat could stop the community from that growth, as they came out and celebrated this day of freedom.
Even though it's hot, we're gonna have a good time.
For About Town, this is Susan Stevens. The Bear Creek Heritage Center is located at 3925 Jackson Street. Learn more online at irvingarchivesandmuseum.com/Bear Creek Heritage Center.
In this edition of Page Turners, we get the scoop on not one, but two hot YA novels perfect for the Teen Summer Reading Challenge.
Hello and welcome back to Irving Public Library's Page Turners. My name is Mandy Aguilar and I'm an Irving librarian and your host for Page Turners. Each month we're talking to an Irving Public Library staff member about a book they really love and think you might love too. Our guest this month is Sarah Abbasi. Welcome, Sarah.
Hi, Mandy. Thanks for having me.
Can you tell us a little bit about what you do at the library?
Yeah, I am one of the library services supervisors for Irving Public Library, and I'm also on the outreach team.
Oh, great. I hear you've chosen a YA book to share with us this month. What did you bring?
I have. It is actually a duology, which means there's two books, part one and part two. These books are by Cassandra Rose Clark. The first one is The Assassin's Curse, and the second one is The Pirate's Wish.
Can you tell us a little bit about them?
Yeah, they are about a pirate princess who does not want to get married off. She wants to captain her own ship, and she's going to make that happen. So she runs away. She doesn't want to get married, and the pirate clan sends an assassin after her.
Oh my goodness. What makes you love this duology so much?
It's got a little bit of everything. So it's got pirate adventure, it's got the assassins, fighting, a little bit of romance, and a ton of magic.
Wow, it sounds like these would be great titles for our Teen Summer Reading Challenge.
Yes, so our theme is Oceans of Possibilities, and this goes really well with that because a lot of it does take place on the ocean. A lot of the pirate scenes and the fighting scenes do take place on ships.
All right, well, it sounds like a rollicking good time. Sarah, thank you so much for bringing these two books to share with us. Page Turners will be back next month with another great pick from the staff at Irving Public Library.
You can check out The Assassin's Curse and The Pirate's Wish at any branch of the Irving Public Library. And if you don't already have one, you can register for your library card online at cityofirving.org/2424. This week in Feature Flicks, Susan reviews a new Regency-era rom-com and the Elvis Presley biopic. Susan?
Thanks, Kathy. You know his songs, but how well do you know the man behind the music? Elvis Presley changed the world of rock and roll, and in Baz Luhrmann's new film Elvis, we get a deeper look at what inspired his sound and moves.
I wish to promote you, Mr. Presley.
The film is told through the perspective of Elvis's manager, Colonel Tom Parker, played by Tom Hanks. It's an interesting choice considering he is a villainous character. He shares Elvis's story from birth to after death. At a young age, Elvis was fascinated by R&B singers and the energy of gospel music from his small town of Tupelo. He eventually used that energy to bring black music to white people. His music and thrusting dance moves caused outrage. But it also filled a room of excited fans. With his success came betrayal, drug addiction, backlash, and an everlasting mark on the world. Visually, Elvis is breathtaking and with bedazzling effects. But story-wise, the film drags. Perhaps making Tom Parker such a big role wasn't a great idea. Hank's portrayal of Colonel Parker comes off like a caricature, and it's hard to take him seriously. Plus, we don't want his story of Elvis. He lied and took advantage of the singer. In addition to that, the film is way too long. There are many unnecessary scenes that could have easily been cut to pick up the pace. Thankfully, Austin Butler is sensational as Elvis, giving the best performance of the year so far, and one to remember come award season. Butler is entrancing as he embodies the king vocally and physically. His performance alone is why anyone should watch this movie.
Are you ready to fly?
I'm ready to fly.
If you're a fan of Jane Austen and Bridgerton, then you're sure to enjoy the delightful new romantic comedy, Mr. Malcolm's List. The film is set in 19th century England. A young woman named Selina tries to court a wealthy suitor only to get revenge for her friend who was humiliated by him because she did not meet the requirements on his list for a future wife.
You have a list of qualifications for a bride.
I would love for Mr. Malcolm to receive the comeuppance he deserves.
The story isn't the most original and pretty predictable. However, it's still nice to watch a reminder about how when you're looking for the one, it's impossible for them to meet a long list of silly deal breakers. And ultimately, it doesn't matter. Because like the film shows audiences, we don't know what we truly want in a partner until we finally meet them. It just has to click.
You thought to humiliate Malcolm, and you end up presenting him with the perfect wife, and that must sting.
Like Bridgerton, the film incorporates blind color casting, featuring diverse actors playing in what would typically be white roles. It's a refreshing choice, and the entire cast, including Frida Pinto and Zawe Ashton, give fantastic and comical performances. Mr. Malcolm's List is the lighthearted comedy romance the whole family can enjoy.
That is part of its charm.
Check showtimes for Elvis and Mr. Malcolm's List at one of Irving's excellent movie theaters, Alamo Drafthouse Cinemas Las Colinas, AMC Irving Mall, and AMC Classic Irving 10.
Continuum is the name of the exhibit by Texas regional artist Billy Hassel, currently on display in the Irving Art Center Focus Gallery. Kathy sat down with the artist the New York Times describes as Mother Nature's stylist.
Bold, colorful images of nature's beasts and bounty are an audacious celebration of planet Earth, courtesy of artist Billy Hassel. As a child, Hassel's imagination always led him outdoors.
It's just fascinated with the things you find, like if you turn over a rock, there's, little crawly things and maybe a snake or, a toad or something. There were always fascinating things.
He started to draw and paint those fascinating things and never stopped.
Kids just like to draw. Kids like to paint, and it seems like a very natural thing. And in my case, I never outgrew it, I guess you could say.
As an artist, he can draw a straight line from those early years to what he loves to paint today. His natural landscapes and creatures of the sky, land, and sea are rich with detail and arresting color.
I think that visual obsession with looking at things began to manifest itself in an appreciation of pattern and kind of a depiction of pattern. And I think even to this day, I just repeated shapes and things that are references to nature are prevalent throughout my work.
His exhibit, Continuum, in the Irving Art Center Focus Gallery, includes prints commissioned by the Nature Conservancy of Texas in the early 90s, and later Audubon, Texas, and Texas Parks and Wildlife.
It was a real education for me, and I began to realize how fragile all of this was.
The prints help to raise money for conservation and the environment, causes that are very important to him.
It gives me some gratification to have the opportunity to give something directly back to these organizations that are doing all this work all over the state.
Hassel is an artist first, but one who cares deeply about protecting the beauty of planet Earth.
I still want the work to be aesthetically engaging and compelling, and hopefully have some, mystery to it, but at the same time integrate these interests in conservation and help people become more aware of the world around them.
This is Kathy Whiteman reporting.
You still have time to see Billy Hassel's Continuum. The exhibit has been extended in the Focus Gallery through July 9th. Visit irvingartcenter.com to learn more. The Association of Oriental Art presents the Year of the Tiger, an exhibit that includes both Chinese brush paintings and ikebana, the Japanese art of flower arranging. Catch the exhibit through July 9th in the Irving Art Center main gallery. Here's a look and a list of cool ways to celebrate summer about town.
And here are some more fun things to do happening about town. The Sparks and Stripes Independence Day Parade kicks off at 9 a.m. in the Irving Heritage District on Monday, July 4th. Get there early to grab your favorite spot on the parade route and head to Heritage Park after the parade for live music and the return of the watermelon reception.
The fun continues at Levy Event Plaza with more great music, kids activities, fireworks, and a spectacular water show on Lake Carolyn. That starts at 6 p.m. on Monday, July 4th.
The Irving Art Center's Second Sunday Fun Day gives kids a chance to learn how to make sculptures. That's Sunday, July 10th from 1 to 4 p.m. in Suite 200.
Main Stage Irving Las Colinas presents Women on the Verge of a Nervous Breakdown, July 15th through 30th in the Dupree Theater. Evening performances are 7:30 p.m. and Sunday matinees are 2:30 p.m. For more events about town, check out our arts calendar at cityofirving.org/536. And that wraps up this edition of About Town. Thanks for joining us.
Please be sure to tune in next time for highlights from the 2022 Sparks and Stripes Parade.
We'll also attend the Lone Star Barbecue and Music Festival and bring you a preview of Women on the Verge of a Nervous Breakdown.
As always, we'd love to hear your feedback. Tell us about events going on around the community, people we should profile, or stories you'd like to see on the show.
You can email us at ictn@cityofirving.org or connect with us on social media. So please subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter and Instagram. We'd love to hear from you.
We'll leave you tonight with a look at On Stage at Heritage featuring vocalist Donovan Keith in performance. For About Town, I'm Kathy Whiteman.
And I'm Susan Stevens. Have a great evening.